Davao City, a multicultural city in the Philippines that is at the very heart of a metropolitan expanse. Though highly urbanized, Davao City remains true to its roots, reminding generation after generation the virtues that founded this great city. It is by respect, tolerance, acceptance, and solidarity that the people of Davao, or the Davaeños, celebrate the KADAYAWAN festival. The KADAYAWAN festival gives thanks and praise to everything that has made Davao one of the most progressive cities in the country. It pays tribute to the land, salutes the history, and revels in its culture.
It's a very important festival for us because this is the time wherein we actually come together and pay respect and homage to our 11 tribes. We're also celebrating nature's bounty because of the very good harvest.
We celebrate it as a thanksgiving for all the blessings that we have received here in Davao, most especially for the bountiful harvest, and not just the harvest, but for all the challenges that we've surpassed all throughout these years.
Occupying the southeastern area of the Mindanao group of islands, the opulent resources of land and water are more than enough for nourishment and livelihood. It is for such reason that many ethnic families from surrounding provinces migrated to this area and eventually flourished. These are the 11 tribes of Davao. The Ata, masters of the highlands. The Iranan, fierce warriors of the ancient Malay seas. The Kagan, the land whisperer. The Klata, the forest dwellers. The Magindanaoan, people of the Mindanao floodplain. The Maranao, people of the lake. The Matigsilu, the river people. The Ovu Manuvu, soulful artisans. The Sama people, the harmonious tribe. The Tagabawa, the people from the south. And the Tausug, people of the current. 11 indigenous tribes, 11 strong foundations of Davao.
There's nowhere else here in the country that you have 11 tribes living peacefully with the rest of Davaoeños. And the Davaoeños are not only from Davao itself, but coming from all over the Philippines. So like we're really a melting pot of cultures.
Kadayawan is derived from Madayaw, a customary Davaeño greeting. Moreover, Madayaw was taken from the word dayaw, meaning good, valuable, or superior. Observed every third week of August, this Thanksgiving celebration was a result of centenary ethnic practices. Early settlers resided at the very foot of Mount Apo, the tallest mountain in the Philippines. During the full moon after harvest, these settlers offered to their gods and deities portions of their produce, flowers, and even farming implements. The offering is then preceded by joyous singing and dancing. Pahinongbu, or Thanksgiving, has long since evolved to what is now known as the Kadayawan Festival. At the Pagabli sa Kadayawan, crowds flock the Magsaysay Park. A multitude of ethnicities is waiting in anticipation and excitement. An ablaze Philippine eagle, wings outspread, rears above the stage. Below, city officials and personalities thrum the ceremonial gong, formally commencing the KADAYAWAN festival. Bringing delight and inspiration to the masses gathered are a carnival of events and activities, beginning with a procession of color and sound. Like the staining veins of paint on paper, the fiesta rises from the river and to the city. Streets and waterways throb to the marching and motion of dancers, musicians, and structures. During the early years, the Bangkerohan River, or Davao River, was the nerve city of industry and trade in the city. This is known as the Subang Sinugdanang Panagtagbo. The Indak sa Kadayawan is a traveling show of dance troupes from the 11 Davao tribes, including contingents from surrounding provinces. Dressed in costumes depicting imagery of gods, deities, and even local farm and marine produce, combined with fluid balletic motion, all eyes are locked on to these street performances. Bursting in a kaleidoscopic fashion, colossal floats veiled in flowers knife through the cheering onlookers. This is Pamulak sa Kadayawan. Every bud and blossom carefully selected and arranged in order to stir the imagination and delight while promoting the flourishing flora and vegetation of Davao City. These parades embody the very vitality and fortitude of the city. Declarations to how much it has achieved through years of change and challenges.
So this is a start. We provided our local designers a platform, a center stage where they can really showcase their creativity and resourcefulness, taking inspiration from the knowledge of their knowledge of the 11 tribes.
Held at different venues across the city are competitions and tournaments that further spotlight the Davaoanyo talent and skill, leaving their mark in the global arena. A barrage of flashes from cameras conceal the audience, and focusing only on the posh models strutting down the runway. With calculated gestures, every turn and bow accentuates and flaunts the contours of her face and figure, the silhouette and ease of a dress, the motif and embellishing on jewelry, all illuminated and dazzled amid a sea of lights. The Hias Kadayawan is a pageantry of goddesses among the tribes. These young women, armed with more than their natural beauty, are well rooted to their people's history and culture. They glide on stage with heads held up high and flashing their best smiles, seizing glances and the admiration of onlookers. The Kadayawan Ball, an apparel design competition, brings to light the works of Davaoanyo designers who aptly melded the artistry and elegance of Davaoanyo and Mindanaoan culture with the prevailing zing of haute couture. In like manner, presenting ethnic culture with flair and style is the Hobby sa Kadayawan, a fashion accessory design competition challenging local talents to transform the city's innate products into chic jewelries, shoes, belts, and bags fit for any fashion mecca. Undeniably, these Davaoenyo designers and models will soon rouse and peak the international fashion scene. Igniting the fires of creativity, these visual and performance art competitions provide Davaoenyo artists the opportunity to be seen and heard by a far wider range of audience. Mugna KADAYAWAN, a visual arts contest and exhibition, unveils the works of Davao artists to patrons and admirers beyond the local art scene. On canvases dressed as giant mobile apps, illustrators and designers from all walks of life create masterpieces using an assortment of media. Lines and brushstrokes meld to tell their story of a people collectively hopeful and in high spirits for the future of their city. Donning headpieces with sharp jutting beaks and feathered garbs, glossy bodies washed and painted in swirls of color. These are the participants of the KADAYAWAN cosplay, a costume design competition in which the theme is centered on the Philippines' most prized winged gem, the Philippine eagle. With the popularity of cosplay or costume play in the country, the competition strives to raise the awareness of the youth on the valuable need to protect and conserve all endangered Philippine wildlife. Troubadours and songwriters of Davao City dig deep and get their creative juices flowing and compose what they hope to be a hit. Tunog Mindanao is a songwriting competition that highlights the unique native sound of the region by rallying the fusion of modern melodies to time-honored Davaoenyo music. It is an evolutionary display of musical history, as much as it is an uncovering to the next chapter of a culture.
For the 2018
Spectators cheer as the announcer introduces a company of performers. Young and limber frames are spotlighted and they begin to shift, stance to stance, knowing full well in their minds that they dance not only for themselves, but in honor of their tribe. Davaoenyo dance groups and ensembles face down on stage and deliver their finest moves and grooves in Sayaw KADAYAWAN. In traditional ethnic threads, performers present folk dances derived from the 11 tribes. Concentration like a steel trap, the choreography and timing tells the story of its people, a beautiful parlay of expressed heritage. Heralding through every street corner and alley are the booms and cracks of marching bands. Every thrust and flip commands attention, while a rhythmic quake sustains it, much the same as a hypnotic sway of a pendulum. Done in a medley of attire, proudly bearing the colors of their tribes. The Pitik KADAYAWAN drum beating competition expresses the vitality and life of the city, the continuous thundering growth. The KADAYAWAN Festival, through these visual and performance art competitions, reveals the persisting expansion of Davao art and music. Stone-hard muscles, drenched in sweat and salt water, scream as they crash mighty oars to an unrelenting stream. The waters by the Santa Ana Wharf have become a battlefield, wherein 13 competing boats pummel and hasten to become the champion of the KADAYAWAN Dragon Boat Festival. Begun in 2017, the race is a demonstration of the endurance and perseverance of the Davaoenyos, that in the most challenging of times, success is inevitable. Bringing to a full circle, the KADAYAWAN Festival reaches its zenith with cultural exhibitions, concerts, and tournaments that glorify the traditions and practices of all 11 tribes. Sprinkled throughout the city, the Lumanong Bantawan is a series of shows that headlines cultural performances from all indigenous tribes of Davao City. From ethnic dances to folk songs and epics, performers testify on stage the fullness of their civilization, preserving it while evolving towards openness and unity among neighboring groups. All 11 tribes rejoice in their continuous unity by participating in the tribal games or Dula KADAYAWAN. It is an array of indigenous sports that hardly pushes for competition, rather it builds for cooperation and stronger ties. Most of the games are derived from the daily village life of the tribes. There is rice pounding, fire making, water fetching, blowgun, wooden stilts, and tug of war. Clustered within Magsaysay Park are 11 houses, individually built from different native materials and each with its own unique structure and design. These are the traditional dwellings of the 11 tribes of Davao City, recreated for the public in minute detail in order to provoke a genuine appreciation for the life of the indigenous people. Members of each tribe, clothed in their native apparel, welcome visitors by performing traditional musical instruments as well as dances. Others reenact typical daily customs, such as preparing native dishes and delicacies. The KADAYAWAN Festival presents to the world the very portrait of unity amongst different cultures. It is a reminder that because of this very harmony, Davao City has endured through long, trying years and still achieved so much. The KADAYAWAN Festival is a celebration of triumph. It is a celebration of peace, and it is a celebration of life.